Greetings, Keishlings. Keishan Prime here with another One Punch Man power-up video. Today we're again tackling Tatsumaki, S-Class, a rank 2 hero. Yeah, let's go. With all the power-up videos, I do equipment, general power-up concepts, and super moves. And yeah, we just recently did Tatsumaki, last week, a matter of fact. And yeah, the ideas kept coming. So... and to start it off with equipment, I found three things, and the first thing is the Giro Giro pendulum. Yes, this item is crafted from the remains of Giro Giro because Tatsumaki is fighting him, or possibly her, I'm not really sure. I've heard both pronouns, so whatever. In the manga at the moment, so I thought that he had a bunch of eyes. Find one that's still got like some of the magical power in it, you know, psychic abilities and everything, not magic. And yeah, just kind of like take little bits of flesh and just mold it and add a chain, and you have a pendulum. This will play a role later, but yeah, so as long as he doesn't have his mind in it, she should be fine. And even if it does, not probably going to be the biggest issue. Could be like a little, you know, little pet for her, you know. But next up is Pocket Spirit Board. I'm, you know, kind of like a Ouija board or like just regular spirit board. They're all the same thing. But this one is pocket size because it's going to fit in her satchel that I mentioned in Volume 1. And yeah, this thing's going to be about the size of smaller than an iPad, maybe 7 by 5, give or take. And this is going to allow her to do like seance work. Yeah, like we're really getting into the occult this time. And yeah, it's a lot easier to carry around than those large Ouija boards. So yeah. Otherwise, it's not too special. Next up is the Soul Vessel. This is a soul jar. It's a thing that holds spirits and souls until you want them for whatever reason. More on that later. And to kick off general ideas and super moves, hypnotism. You know, just like, you are under my spell. You will listen to all I say and do all that I request, because I command you now. I am your master kind of deal. You know, this is where the Giro Giro pendulum comes in. You know, using like the latent power that the eye would have combined with her own unlocked potential, because... and you're probably thinking, it's like, she can't use hypnotism. Well, for one thing, it's a parlor trick mostly anyway, but I discussed in the last video of like her getting like some kind of experimentation or something that allowed her to unlock her powers in the first place, her and Fubuki. So then, like, maybe you do something like that again, or get possessed by someone with a different power in some way, and then you gain new abilities. This one being one of the more like, oh, it's run-of-the-mill parlor trick, so still could be done. So yeah, I'm just continuing on with that pattern. Next up is shamanism. Yes, this one's going to play a big role throughout the video, so I will be referring somewhat to it again. This is, if she learns the practice, she would become a shaman. Someone who's regarded as having access or influence in the world of spirits. They like would enter into a trance and be like, oh yes, the ritual has started, and then they can practice like divination, where they can like foresee the future. I did not see that loud car or whatever buzzing by. Or healing. This plays a role later on. also like maybe like matters of spirits of like, oh, there's hauntings or something, and the shaman could maybe do something about that. So yeah, I figure she could use aspects such as mediumism, where you allow like spirits to enter your body, or to converse with spirits maybe, and then channeling, which does about the same thing as well. So I originally was going to make them all separate things, but then I was like, no, they're shared too much. So channeling, mediumism, and shamanism, all about the same. And really, I'm going more on like, if anyone's ever seen the anime Shaman King, where people would take the abilities of a shaman and then bring them into their body, and then they would gain those abilities, that's kind of where I'm going with this, because that's technically where this series probably would use it. So like say she summons up a spirit of someone who has passed away recently, and like we need to know what's going on, she would be able to converse with them, and then if they have a skill that's needed, she can then have them possess her and then use the skill, like say, oh, I need to hack this computer, and it's like, and you were a hacker extraordinaire, and it's like, okay, just type up on that computer and just bam, problem solved, or something like that. Or a doomsday device, and you have to like figure out how to disarm it, things like that. So yeah, just temporarily, or also to just gain intel as well, like say someone who died, but like right before they died they saw something, and yet again this will play a bit role. Like I said, all of this intertwines quite a bit, because this is like the Death Day afternoon video. But yeah, so gaining abilities and intel from spirits temporarily or whatever, and the soul jar idea, the soul vessel, it comes into play on the chance that she wants to keep said soul in her little jar, and then it's like, I'll use you later, kind of thing. So yeah, she would do that, subjecting people to her own will. But anyway, next up is aura reading. Now, this is one that's kind of like, yeah, I wasn't quite sure about it, but it has some interesting benefits, especially if they are amplified in the One Punch universe. Essentially, it's the ability to gain insight into an individual's mental, emotional, or physical state by looking at their aura, like that energy that's around your body. And essentially, like, she would be able to tell if someone is harmed physically, like, oh, like they have internal bleeding or something, or they've been traumatized by an event they just saw, and she's like saving them or whatever, but they need therapy. She can see that, and then they can get the proper help they need. Or maybe to act as a lie detector, because if it senses the mental, like you could maybe see the wavering of their thoughts, it's like, oh, they were acting fine and we knew this information to be accurate, but then they started to waver around this point, so we know they're lying. Something like that. Next up is a thing that I didn't really know, but I've seen it. It's just I didn't know it was called this. Psychic surgery, aka energy medicine. This is the act of using one's own personal psychic energies to heal another. This plays into the aura reading a bit, where, like, say, she can sense someone if they're injured, and then with her abundance of psychic powers, she could just transfer that over and heal them. Simple as that. And then another one that I didn't really know about was photography, which is where you take a mental image from someone. This would be useful with the telepathy that I mentioned in the volume 1, where you take a mental image from someone's head and then imprint it on a physical medium. So say, like, okay, this is the situation that I would see this very useful. Okay, there's a serial killer, be it a human, a monster, whatever, and they're on the loose. but like every victim has been killed before they could get any useful information, and like say any witnesses have been killed, whatnot, so there is no intel to who this person is. Okay, Tatsumaki, she like either finds someone who is on death's door and it's like, I need to get those memories out of you, or she could just talk to spirits, you know, if that's the route she has to take. But like she would take the image out of their mind, because if they're like too weak to talk or whatever, they can't give a very detailed, you know, account of everything, so time is of the essence, they're perishing, obviously. So she just takes the image, slaps it on a piece of paper, let's say, and then they know what to look for. And then it's like, they'll find the person a lot more easily then. Next is exorcism. Not only could she conjure spirits, but destroying spirits that nobody needs to be around, or no one needs to get their hands on. Like if they could also do like shamanism and stuff and like take them into their body and gain powers, yeah, they don't need those around. So sometimes you got to take out the spirits. You know, sometimes you got to put them in their wedding outfits and exorcise them in front of everyone, but you're just killing the dead, you know? So yeah, this, like, she could also like carry around salt, maybe, you know. This kind of gets into the Mob Psycho region of thought as well, but I thought it would be an interesting addition. Finally, we have conjuration, which is, it usually allows you to instantly create objects from nothing, but if, like, say she can't do this exactly, like she can't just conjure it up completely out of nothing, I could see her like taking like particles or dust from the air and then just kind of like whipping them together into a solid object. That would, you know, kind of help bridge the gap, so to speak, of her being able to use this. It also apparently involves like teleportation, but I don't really want her to teleport. That's kind of getting too OP, and I've already done that. So yeah, like she can make whatever item she needs on the spot, you know, whatever. And that is about it. Yeah, I went more physical last time, and now, well, physical, mental, and went more like spiritual with some aspects of mental in this one, so maybe I'll hit the full gambit. But yeah, let me know what you thought of these ideas, anything that you've thought that she could maybe do if she unlocked more abilities, something like that. Let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Here's where you can find me, links down below. Until next time, Keechlings, roll out!